Welcome to Deep Dive Film School. I'm Adam Sherlock.
And I'm Adam Pulcher.
And if you like what you see/hear, please like and subscribe. You can find us in all the spaces and places that people what?
Find good media, that's right. Our most popular platforms are Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Find us there if you like what you see. You can also follow me at Letterboxd at Adam Pulcher. All the links are in the descriptions below.
Yep.
So check us out there. All right, we are going to do that one scene from 2015 Sicario.
Yes.
Honestly, one and only Denis. He really is something special, and this movie is no exception. Mm-hmm. Written by Taylor Sheridan, which I forgot.
Oh my God, I don't think I remembered that either.
I don't know when this guy sleeps. He writes so many fucking things. He did all of Yellowstone. He has like 4 other movies, or 4 other TV shows.
Obviously,
he
Wind
writes
River and
most of them.
Yeah,
he did Wind River, Hell and High Water. He wrote that. Just like amazing stuff. Like he's quite a talent.
Yep.
And I just and then of course we have Denis here, who famously did
Arrival,
all the Dune movies, Arrival, Blade Runner 2049, Prisoners, Enemy. And
this is I mean, he has a lot that are departures from things. Obviously now he's known mostly for his sci-fi work.
Yeah,
but
the Dune movies are just
I love
spectacular.
the way Sicario is directed because I love a good thriller that is directed like a horror movie.
Interesting.
And this movie is, I was going between 2 different scenes. It was either going to be this is the Welcome to Juarez scene, or the opening. The opening of this movie with all the bodies that are hidden in the walls.
Yeah, this was the better choice.
So like, oh my God.
It's quite an opening, no doubt.
It's just it's so tense and terrifying, and he manages to make these sequences feel so hopeless. Like he makes the idea of this drug war almost be like a war for the soul, right? A war for like humanity.
For sure. And she's an amazing vessel to live that through, because
you see it all through her eyes.
Although she kills people, it's part of her job to do that. And she definitely gets put in places to have to do that.
Yep.
This scene being one of them.
Really the first step into the descent into darkness, where she does not want to be a part of this because she is a officer of the law. She wants to play by the rules, right?
For sure. And they never really talk about it in the movie, but obviously, a woman living in a man's world.
Another reason why I kind of made the sort of Silence of the Lambs sort of comparison,
it's this movie's so brilliant, and we'll talk about the scene specifically here in a second, but like it does a great job. After I watched it, I'm like, man, this like is riffing off of like 10 different movies, but I also like there's obviously like a Heat vibe here, a little bit.
Like Traffic.
Yeah, absolutely. But also it also reminds me of like Arrival too in some spots, especially these huge, the opening of the scene is these gorgeous landscape, like drone, which I actually think they're helicopter shots. They're not drone shots.
Which I could not stop thinking, why didn't you just put the drug dealer's brother in a helicopter and get him out of there if you got
hey, Frodo,
helicopters?
Chill out.
Why didn't they bring the ring to Mordor on one of those
on a bird?
One of those giant eagles? Right. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
That's good.
But what were we talking about?
The helicopter shots.
Yes. So we open with these shots. But what I was going to say is like this movie does a great job of riffing off those other movies, but never being like obvious or like he still makes it his own, right?
Yeah, I am so impressed at how there is no orange tint and like a Latin soundtrack, which is usually how we know we're in Mexico.
Good Latin dancing.
Hey, thanks, man. But that's normally how. I mean, not to totally Soderbergh it up, but you're like, that is usually the trope. Is like, let's put an orange or a red, lens over everything.
The Traffic one, although it is a very apt comparison, maybe we see Benicio in both movies, and so you're like, oh, maybe because he kind of plays a similar thing. But also, can I just say this? Before and he's definitely.
Just want to talk about him being a national treasure.
I mean, isn't he? Like, is he never not the coolest fucking guy? No,
he's
screen?
amazing.
He's always the coolest guy on screen.
And his character here is so interesting and
very
such a tragic
reserved
figure, and so like just full of mystery, and really is
Alejandro.
And what's interesting is he definitely saves Emily Blunt's character multiple times. Her character, Kate. He saves her multiple times throughout this movie, but he also represents everything that she's against. He is this character who does not play by the rules.
Doesn't have a last name.
Yeah, that is just a mystery.
In the shadows.
May or may not be working for the CIA. Just like is spooky on so many different levels, but also has his own strange moral code. And I love, again, you said he's so quiet. He's so taciturn here. And just these little loaded statements, right? Where I'm jumping around a little bit in our scene, but, you know, they get to these hangars, which is where this drug dealer's brother is being kept. And that's when they need to get back to the States because that's how they're going to be able to actually infiltrate this whole drug gang. And he just like, they're the only ones in the car. And he's like, don't worry, nothing's going to happen here. Yeah. If they're going to get us, they'll get us at the border. And you're like, thank you for the vote of confidence. That's great. But then he's like, also keep your eye on the Mexican
the
cops.
Local state police.
Yeah, like they're not always the good guys. And you're like, they're the ones with a gun turret in the back of a Jeep. Like,
for sure.
They might not be playing on our side. Like, what the fuck? It's so scary.
Absolutely.
This descent into Juarez, right? Which is like they go across the border. They get
untouched too, right? That the drone work here or the helicopter work here is so good.
Yeah.
Or just the camera work in general. I mean,
just this line of black SUVs.
Yeah.
Bouncing over.
5 SUVs, just not stopping at the border, getting clear passage both ways until they get stuck in traffic, which is where kind of the scene culminates. But the build up here, even with the shots at the beginning where we're in El Paso and then we go to the wall and we start seeing all this big line of the wall that's on the border there. And then it goes over the hill into Juarez and shows you how close they are and what different landscapes they are.
And what is it that Jeffrey Donovan, who's sitting shotgun,
oh, man.
It's so good. I love, he is a very underappreciated actor.
I like him too.
He's great.
He says some haunting shit.
And he's the one, he's got perfect like CIA mustache.
Yeah.
And he leans over and he just points at Juarez when they're still on the other side and he goes, there it is, the beast. And then they go around that overpass and down through. And again, we're seeing everything through Kate's eyes. And just from that quiet, you know, not saying a lot, Benicio next to her, he's like, welcome to Juarez. And you see the 4 beheaded bodies hanging from the overpass.
Yeah.
And it is so...
It's brilliant what they do.
Again, it's like their descent into hell. Yeah, it's brilliant what they do.
He says it a few times and I'm like, he's like, the way they, mutilate the body like that, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm getting a boner.
Yeah.
You know, talking about it.
It's so like...
But it was just, he says some haunting shit.
Yeah.
And like there's this, especially the first probably 5 minutes of this, 20-minute scene. It's pretty quiet. It's us going from, traveling with them across the border.
Yep.
Stopping, grabbing this guy, like you mentioned. And they're literally, that's all they're there to do is get him, bring him back across the border, and then boom, watch out. If there's anything that's going to happen, and it's on the way back.
Every time that they stop for any reason, and we don't know why they're stopping because they're so far back in the caravan, right? And you hear gunshots outside, and Donovan's character goes and rolls the window. I'm like, don't roll your window. What are you doing? And he's like, hear that? That's not firecrackers, And it's like all these little things. Every time that the car stops, and you can hear the state police talking, and we don't get subtitles, so we're right with her where we don't know why we've stopped. Right?
I think some huge exposition is kind of leaning into what you're saying that we kind of skipped over. That is pretty important. Is that they don't communicate shit to her.
Nope.
And we're living this through her eyes, right?
And they're like, trust us.
And so we have no idea what's going to happen, which amps up. That's the bomb under the table because you don't know what that is. They're not communicating. She has to force it out of them.
Yep. And even then, they might be lying to her, right? Like then, they're totally unreliable.
Well, yeah, we end up finding she's kind of a patsy to some degree, but she's still in this with her and her partner. But it's I think not having that information ramps up the intensity of that scene that we probably didn't speak about. But this is her first assignment with this team, right?
Yep. And she's not entirely sure, like, how they can even like, okay, now we're out of the country. I don't have jurisdiction here. Like, who's calling the shots?
Yep.
And as a lot of these thoughts are bubbling to the surface, they're on their way back to the American border, and a car is broken down, and all of a sudden they are in this gridlock. And you've got the guys out there that are selling the little like toys, like to all the cars. It's sweaty. The sun is beating down, and we are paranoid, right? And we're looking at every single car. They're looking around at every single car.
They're clocking everything.
They're clocking everything. And then you can hear over the radio, it's like, when can we engage? We can't engage until they engage. Can I get out of the car? You cannot get out of the car unless they get out of the car. And you're like, what the fuck?
And so there's like a green Civic and a red sedan to the left, and we start clocking them too. And you know, these are vatos with neck tattoos and face tattoos.
So terrifying.
Who think who you would probably movie Hollywood studios would clock as being the thugs in this scenario. But so they clock them, but then we see they clock the weapons as well. And they're like, all right, we're on high alert here. We're ready for anything. She has to roll down her window. She doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah,
and again, she's mostly silent through this.
And he's like, get your service weapon out.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to need to move when I tell you to
roll
move.
Down your window.
Oh, God, all of that. And, like, he's going to crossfire. And these guys do not, like, she has a pistol. All the rest of them have, like, fully automatic, like, AR-15s. And you're like, oh my God, like, and they're surrounded by just regular Joe Schmoes trying to get back across the border.
We also have to acknowledge too what Denis, like I'm thinking of the scene in Arrival when we first see the alien ship, right? The like the music, the score here is so good, and especially with these big helicopter shots. You can hear the helicopter going, but also you can he's playing up that music a lot and just ramping up that intensity at the right times. But so they exit the car. They get out. One of the guys gets out, and so they all get out, set a perimeter, draw their weapons. So they're like, hey, don't get your hands off the weapon. They're definitely in a better position to shoot. And and she's just like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, she doesn't want to get out of the car. Like
they tell her to, but she doesn't.
But she doesn't. She's kind of cowering down. And Benicio's shouting to them in Spanish and saying, peace. Let's do this. Let's do this peacefully. And instead they mow down both carloads of these guys, and then one of these state police tries to murder Kate, like, and she has to shoot him, and it is so shocking because it's just the one. So it's like, luckily, out of all the state troopers that were around them, state police that were around them, one of them was working for the cartel, and is like, oh, if I could just take this lady out, right? Like that'll do something. And after this whole shootout, it's more sotto voce where we're just hearing it. We just hear the dialogue. We don't even see it. And there's like, shit, man, this is going to be all over the Channel 2 News. And they're like, this isn't even going to make it out of,
front page of El Paso.
Yeah, front page of El Paso.
I think
it's such a great line, but it's also so hopeless, right?
It is an important part of establishing the world that we're in, right? And like, this is a real, gritty view on what a drug war actually is, that really, laws are out there for the normies, but there's no laws in this world, right? Like they kind of have to. And
that's what Josh Brolin, who we didn't even mention, who's so, he has very little to do in this scene, but God, he's great in this movie.
Yeah.
Just always in flip-flops, just like the most like clandestine CIA.
Sleeping on the plane.
Yeah. Just like, you're like, oh yeah, this is how, like, this guy's probably toppled more fucking governments than whole armies have. Right. And, but he gets in this argument with Kate at the end of the scene and is like, this is the future. There aren't wars anymore. This is how stuff gets taken care of. So if you want to stay in this world, you're going to have to get used to this. Yeah. And the rest of the movie is really about her trying to dig her heels in and not lose her soul to this, right? To the way this world is. But I just thought, in rewatching this movie a couple of weeks ago and getting to this scene in particular, I was like, I'm white knuckling it through this scene. I was like, we got to talk about it. So.
Yeah, no, it's a brilliant scene, brilliant movie. Denis does no wrong
I completely agree.
Have yet to see
Fascinating director to watch.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see what he does. But thank you for watching.
Yeah.
If you like what you see /hear, please find us on Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok. Those are our most active channels. And then you can follow me at Adam Pulcher on Letterboxd if you want to see everything that I watch all
We were
the
just
time.
looking at his top 100 films.
Yeah, go
it's
check
great.
it out. Tell me what you think.
No surprises for me. I've known you long enough.
Yeah, that's true. It's pretty obvious.
Next week, we are starting our new festival.
Agnes Verda. Yes. That's right. Cleo from 5 to 7 is our first movie in that festival. So excited to learn about her.
We don't really know anything about her, so I love finding these, like, I know they are like massive generational directors that I'm like, I don't know nothing about her. And so it's really fun to just learn about a new director.
Absolutely. So. That's a good American accent. Side note.
That's what my real voice sounds like.
Yeah. Side note, Emily Blunt's American accent in this movie is underrated.
She's one of those ones that I always forget is English.
That's right.
And then you're like, oh my God.
Anyways, thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you next week.
Bye, you guys.